Eyal was my first grandson, uh, and he was born exactly a day after my birthday, if I remember rightly. And Nurit was in the hospital. We baked the cake, and we couldn't really deliver it because she was delivering you at the same time. And so our birthdays were very close, like one day apart. And I don't know how you were with your parents, but every time I saw you, I don't remember you crying. And you fell a lot with us. You fell down 12 steps in the house we were building, where the steps were all sharp because we hadn't finished putting in the covering and the tiles. So it was all concrete. You rolled down the 12 steps. I caught you at the very end, the last step or two. And you just sort of got into my arms. But you whimpered a little bit, but you didn't cry. I kept trying to think if I ever heard you crying, and no, I heard you talking to Steve, and we had this great big German Shepherd dog. I think he was the biggest shepherd I've ever seen. And the two of you just sort of became very close friends. And we were living in a rented apartment at the time. We brought you over to visit, you and your mom and dad. and you were in the guest room where your parents were going to be. And we heard Steve, our dog, a great big German Shepherd, like that, making these terrible sounds. And we came rushing into the room. And you were at the end of the bed, facing forward in front of the room. Steve was underneath you. His nose just about reached, I think, your chin at the time. And he was going, and you were going, and you were having a conversation like that. And we just stood there watching, and it was very exciting. And he was your friend so long as he was alive. And you used to say, me and Steve want to leave, because Steve couldn't go out by himself. So even when he wanted to go, so you say, we want to go out, or I think we want food. You always wanted food, and we used to have to hold him back. Only when we clap, he'd come running at the food. And I remember one time, you went like this, and I was standing there, putting the food down, and I had to jump out of the way because he came running, and he would have just gotten all over me. I don't know if he would have bit me or not, but it was really scary. He was a scary dog. He was warm and friendly and small, not small, big, but small inside. And you and he were the closest friends I've ever seen. I remember we used to work together. I didn't know what to do. We were building our house, and after falling down the steps and like that, I followed you around, but the house was really unfit for a little kid. So I used to take you to work in the house. went up on the roof a number of times, and I used you to clean the drain that takes the rainwater out, and we had a architect that put in very small drainage, 2-inch, and was always full of leaves and grass and things like that, and it'd get stuck, and then the house would get wet. So I had to go up there all the time. I'd take you up with me whenever you were there, and we would go along the drain. Our house, there was a second floor to the left that had a air conditioner on it, and you used to go underneath the air conditioner, and you'd get up and you'd clean out the drain for me. I mean, I could have done it with a hose, but I had to keep you busy, and so that when you were like 4 years old, I think, was the first time we came to visit you in your kindergarten, and the kindergarten teacher sees me there. She says to him, Mise, who is that? And you say, my grandfather, Saba. And she said, and what are you for him? And he said, Poel, a worker. And he said it in full seriousness. He didn't think he was making anything up. And he was sure that he was helping me out every time he came. So every time he came, I had to find work to do together with you. But it was always fun. And there was always what to do in a new house. So you grew up that way with us, in that kind of a relationship. Like I said, I never heard you cry. That really, the more I think about it.
Can I add something?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay. Eyal was my son. It's true you had birthdays together, always.
Yes.
So always before the birthday, there was a lot of thinking and considering what is he going to get his granddad for a birthday gift. So when he was 5, I can't remember how old you were, he
55.
decided they used to do in kindergarten, take avocado seed and put it in water, and then it grows, to show the kids how it grows.
Oh yes, I forgot.
Okay, so after considering, Eyal decided that's the very nice birthday present for his grandfather. And he brought it. His grandfather was very happy. The seed grew and grew and grew. And he transferred it to a
big pot.
big pot, and then outside to a bigger pot, and then it became a huge avocado tree that gave fruits for years.
Maybe it still does.
Maybe still.
No, they cut it down.
They cut it down. Okay, that was one birthday. Another that you don't remember, but I do. When he was a little older, he was, I think, 9 or 10 when I got my first computer, and he learned from a book, BASIC, the language that was then the thing to make programs. We used floppy disks. It was that time.
Einstein.
Yeah. And he made his grandfather, for birthday present, 2 programs. One was to decide between things. How if you want to buy a birthday present to someone and you have to decide between this and this and that. That was not so interesting. The other was yes or no, to do things or not to do. go to a vacation or not to go. That one we tried because we had to try before. We tried them to be or not to be. It came out to be, but very small difference between the not to be. But we really enjoyed it.
Hmm?
And what you can tell how they came, everybody, him and his friends raided your house after Pesach.
Ah, yes. When I was in the army, the day after Pesach, they were doing nivutim. How do you say nivutim in English? Lori?
What?
Nivutim, how do you say in English?
No, it wasn't nivutim. They were on vacation from the army.
What?
Normally on Jewish holidays, they try to let all the soldiers out. Whoever can be out is out. So Eyal was out, and many of his friends, school friends and other friends, were also out.
And they were hungry.
No, they came. Let me tell this. Okay. Anyways, they all celebrated the Seder, each with his family, and then the day after they got together and decided to go hiking. All Jerusalem kids, they decided to go hiking, and they came near Jerusalem to the Bet Shemesh area, and then Eyal calls me and says, "Look, somehow we forgot to get food. We have water, but we didn't arrange to have food. Do you think Saba will mind if we come and maybe he still has some leftovers from the Seder?" I said, "Well, go ahead. Why not?" And guess what? They came.
And there was half a lamb left over for them.
10 army kids, very hungry, and they didn't even finish the leftovers.
No, we had leftovers after they went.
Yeah.